My Vizio TV picture went out.
I'm assuming the power is on.
Of course the power is on.
And I'm assuming no one threw something into the screen.
It would be impossible to hide something like that. Well, I'd notice the big line of duct tape across the screen if they did try to hide it.
Did anyone unplug any cables recently?
I didn't lose my picture because someone disconnected the cable box.
Or forgot to pay the cable bill?
This isn't due to a failure to pay the utilities.
It could happen because you set the TV to a component input, or cable box input when it is supposed to be an HDMI connection to the gaming console you use as a media center or DVD player instead.
I can check the settings, but I don't think I've made changes to them lately.
You can reboot the TV in case the problem occurred because of a software update.
I know you have to do that after every computer update these days, but my TV doesn't have a reboot button like all the other smart gadgets.
Unplug it from the wall, leave it unplugged for 10 minutes and plug it back in. Then turn it back on and test.
That's just a hard reboot.
For Vizio TVs, try hitting the menu button.
If I saw the menu, I'd know it was a problem with an input cable.
Or that you had it on a TV channel or input that had no signal coming to it.
The only advantage of one TV had static when the one with rabbit ears was on the wrong channel was that it was obvious when something was wrong.
If the TV doesn't show even the menu, the T-Con display board or backlight inverter could be the problem.
Both of those sound expensive to replace.
If you turn off all the lights in the room and don't see a backlight glow, then you know it is at least the backlight inverter. If it has that backlight glow but no image, you could have a bad T-Con board or loose connection to it.
Both of those will need a pro to fix. I was worried it was a blown out fuse or capacitor in the TV.
It could still be the power supply board, though if you can hear TV sound when you turn on the TV though there's no image, it isn't a power supply problem.
That's because it needs power to be able to make some noise.
I've heard of HDMI boards having a bad capacitor or blow caps, but this will mean no sound along with no video when you select HDMI, though it could get both if you select a different input.
I've heard the main board could be bad in this case.
Sure, but given the cost of that, you're almost making the case for a new TV. Is it still under warranty?
I'm way past the 1-year warranty that came with this TV.
If the TV was made back in 2012, a number of their LED LCD HD TVs were recalled.
It isn't old enough to be affected by that recall, though the 2011 models were recalled due to some TVs catching fire.
At least in that case, it would be obvious why there was no picture.